My name is Eoin, and today I'm going to be taking you through a step-by-step process to a textured skin fade. This look and shape is a shop floor favourite. It is designed for functionality and suitability. I started this haircut by assessing and analysing the fix factors, as well as taking my client's preferences and lifestyle into consideration. This will help me reverse engineer the haircut in an efficient and effective manner. I started by sectioning out an unconventional square panel through the apex, which purely followed the head shape and hair growth patterns. This separates the top from the sides and gives me some clarity at the beginning of the process. The first thing I did was set up my shape and first clipper guideline by using my scissor. I'm starting here due to the fact it is arguably the most important part of the haircut, as it will set up the connection point between the top and sides. So remember to utilise the fix factors and the head shape to help you visualise the end result prior to starting. The first section I cut was through the crown area at the point where the hair growth pattern changes direction. The reason I'm starting here is due to the fact that this will be the most reactive part of the haircut due to the hair growth patterns changing directions. So in order for the look to be more functional, I must not resist the natural hair fall. The choice of section was a forward diagonal section so that I removed weight and created shape at the same time. With Liam's hair type, a block section would have been too heavy. I worked this sectioning process through the right hand side first, before coming back to my starting point and then working through the left. The reason I started on the right was due to the fact that I find this side more difficult. When switching sides, it's important to change your hand and body position to follow the direction that you want the hair to sit, and make sure to use elevation plus your guide through the crown in order not to cut it too short. From here, I unclipped the top of the haircut and created a profile guide. I then cut a square shape into the top vertically by standing on the left hand side for full visibility, and once cut, I pushed the guide into the right side of the apex panel. Because of this haircut's messy, textured nature, I worked through each panel on the right and left hand side of the profile guide using horizontal sections working from back to front. Picking up each new section and using the profile guide as well as the length from the contours to point cut the shape in. This will leave me with more of a dishevelled, textured look. I then repeated the process on the left side of the panel before cross-checking for any discrepancies. I like to use a crisscross technique when it comes to cross-checking these styles, working front to back from the hairline to the crown area on each side. My next step is to pre-style the haircut before applying the clipper work. I used some matte paste as a pre-product whilst the hair was still damp to help spread the product seamlessly and evenly throughout. On my Dyson Supersonic, I used a gentle air attachment and only my hands to style this look. I find this gives the client a realistic process to follow once they go home. I started the drying process from the crown with a high velocity and medium heat setting, scrunching the hair to create texture and movement throughout. Once the hair feels fully dry, I then switched to the cool setting with a lower speed to help set the product. When executed correctly, this can act like hairspray and will hold the hair in position whilst we move through the next steps. As you can now see, when the process of the wet shape is executed correctly, we can now clearly visualise what we need to fade into. Due to the nature of Liam's hair and head shape, which I discovered during the wet shape process, I'll be using a descending technique for the fade. I started with my highest clipper guard number to clear out the canvas. The choice for this haircut was a 2.5. Our fading techniques all follow a systematic process of starting on one side, repeating it on the other, and connecting through the back. So this is where that system really kicks into place. Once I've done this on both sides and connected through the back, I then establish my lowest clipper number, which is the shortest clipper number before skin. We like to call this the 00. Make sure to keep this parallel to the shape that you created with the highest clipper guard number. Working out the spacing here is critical, and a general rule of thumb that we like to use is 2 fingers depth, from the highest point to the lowest. Repeat the process on the other side and connect through the back. Check your mirror for balance and symmetry. Once these guides are in place, I will then work through one side of the fade completely before moving to the second side, descending from my highest to lowest clipper number. I started by using my foil shaver to bring the hair underneath my 00 line down to skin, making sure to leave a few follicles of hair below the guideline to help my fading process. Then I'll move on to a number 1 guard open, working that through to closed, then skipping to a 0.5 and slowly closing the lever as I work towards my 00 line. And lastly, using your trimmer to knock out the faint balding line if there is one. What I am looking for here is the colour spread to be even across the canvas. Sometimes that requires me to segment the head and work in specific micro segments before moving on to the next section. Following the process here is extremely important, as most of this technique depends on consistency within the motion of the clipper. Repeat the exact same process on the other side using landmarks on the head or on the face and your mirror for balance and symmetry. Once you've repeated both sides, you can then connect them through the back. It's essential to follow that process through and refine after, as sometimes you don't see the results until you reach that very last 0 line. Once the process is followed through fully, you can start to refine using techniques such as scissor over comb and chipping to soften or pick out any discrepancies in the fade. To complete the haircut, I use some more matte paste to create some separation and movement. Be sure to check out the full technical head sheet breakdown beneath this video to digest the process in an alternative way. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. To watch more in-depth tutorials just like this, you can browse through our resource library. Thank you and take care.